All right, good morning, everyone. Let me adjust the audio here. Okay. All right, so let's just go over today's economic data first. Here's what we got for today. Um, we have had unemployment claims, which came out at 242,000, which is less than expected. We had the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which came in um, negative, but less negative than expected. Now, um, at this stage, the we're kind of in a period where it's difficult to say what the Fed might do next. The expectation is that they will cease raising interest rates, but that could we could be surprised. We don't know. So I think a lot of the market is carefully calculating whether or not the Fed is going to continue to raise rates. The main thing is um, everyone expects a pause to come at some point, but when it's going to come is the big question. Then after the pause, the expectation would be that interest rates would be pulled down, but we'll see what happens. All right, so at 9:05 a.m. Eastern, we have FOMC member Jefferson speaking. At 9:30, we have FOMC member Barr speaking. At 10 o'clock, we have existing home sales, CB leading index, and FOMC member Logan speaking. All right, after that, we'll have natural gas storage at 10:30. Um, we will have Bank of Canada Governor Macklem speaking, which could have some impact here since Canada is our neighbor. But for the most part, by the time we get to 10 o'clock Eastern, all of the major news will be out of the way. Natural gas storage probably will have no significant impact on the market. So after that point, after 10 o'clock Eastern, whatever the impact is of the economic data released will become evident in the markets after that point. All right. So that being said, let's take a look at. Oh, actually, hold on for 1 second. 1 second here. Sorry, my screen will be back up in just a moment. I forgot to log into one of my accounts. All right, now we're good to go. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at what stocks were moving yesterday. We had quite a few. Um, let's start off with Nvidia. Well, actually, let's start off with Zion. It's on the screen right now. So Zion Bank was able to get past target number one of 25.39, but did not reach target number two of 26.42, topped out at 26.33. Banks overall had a good day yesterday. Another bank was Fifth Third, FITB, which is also down here at the bottom left. Fifth Third was able to reach target number two of 25.34 um, and reached a high of 25.35, so 1 penny more than that. We also had Huntington Bank, HBAN, another bank corp, was able to reach 10.02, which was target number one for that. Now, for NVIDIA, which I mentioned briefly, NVIDIA was able to reach target number one at the end of the session. Target number one was 301.82. So it did take a long time for NVIDIA to get there, but it did eventually get to target number one. Riot Blockchain, RIOT, was able, RIOT was able to pass target number one of 11.16, but it did not reach target number two of 11.67. Actually topped out at 11.61, so pretty close. Tesla had a good day. TSLA. Tesla was able to reach 171.98, which was target number one. Target number two was 174.50. Right, next up, we have Apple. Apple was pretty volatile. When it moved down to a low of 170.42, that came close to 170.08, which was target number one to the downside. Then it turned around and went up to it didn't get close to target number one. Target number one was to the upside was 173.34. So Apple moved around a lot, but didn't really get anywhere. Rivian similarly was moving up and down quite a bit, but it was not able to reach target number one of 1350. Now we did have APLD. This stock didn't have any targets for it, but it started off the day at $6.10, reaching a high of 727. We did have some idea of where it could go to, and for the most part, it did get to those expectations. Next up, we have Meta, META, which was able to surpass target number one of 241.60, but not able to reach 244.75, which was target number two. It topped out at 243.84. Dish Network was, unfortunately, I didn't really get much out of this. It was able to get to 686, which was target number one, and then went to a high of 698. However, by the time it was really on the radar, it was pretty close to target number one, so not much happened there. Now, one of the best performers yesterday was IMMP on our list. IMMP was able to reach a high of $3.90, starting the day at 206. Pretty strong move up. Surpassed all targets. The target number two for that was 206. It got there pretty quickly after the open. And then once it got there, it just took off. So great opportunity there. Other than that, let's see. Zella was able to recover after its initial sell-off, reaching a high of about $8.80, which put it above target number two for that stock, which was $7.91. Bearish stocks included T-Mobile, which basically just sold off below target number two, which was 141.79. And MOTS was halted very early in the session, and I would say this one, unless you caught part of that second move here, there really wasn't much here, so wasn't a great opportunity in my opinion. Lastly, we have SMFL, which did move very well at the beginning of the session and then fell apart, but we were on top of that the entire time from pre-market until the opening bell. All right, folks, so that's about it for the stocks that are moving yesterday. Let's take a look at what's moving today. All right, for today, fairly short list, but doesn't mean I have everything on there. Thanks, Jen. All right, so let's start off with ALIM, which is trading 4.97 million shares. So that will go on our radar. It's up a substantial amount as well, so we'll put that on our radar too. One second here. There you go. Next up, we have BABA. see. Oh, sorry, not Baba. Sorry, I was wondering what was going on there. That was on my scan, but it's not supposed to be. Next up, we have CRVS. Um, this one I would leave alone. It doesn't have a large enough price change. The volume is right, but it's barely changed. So I'll put that as a possibility, but not a likely candidate until the volatility picks up. So CRVS possibility, but not probability. All right, next up is IFBD. Okay, that looks good. 2.76 million shares. That looks about right. So we'll add that to our radar as well. IFBD. And we'll add probably, let's see. PACW is already on our list anyway, but I mean, looks like it's active today. So we'll watch it at the opening bell, see what happens. PACW. See, PLTR. Oh, actually, no, sorry, wrong one. WLGS. Okay, there we go. WLGS definitely looking good. So we're going to add that to our radar. Large price move, and also looking good on the volume. So this will be added to our radar as well. WLGS. All right. Let's see. ICU was mentioned here. Let's take a look. Yeah. Yeah. Just barely trading above $1, but that does count. So we'll add that. ICU. TO. Let's take a look at that. All right, for this one, I don't think the price change is large enough, but the volume is there. I'll put that as a possibility, but not a not a high probability that it's going to trigger, but we'll see. Okay. Um, already, yeah. So already got so far we've got ALIM, IFBD, PACW, WLGS, and ICU. Now, if there are any other stocks, NASDAQ stocks that are above $1 per share, that pre-market are moving substantially. We want to see percent changes in excess of 6% positive or negative, and we want to see volumes traded pre-market of at least 1 million shares. So if you see anything that meets that criteria, let me know in the chat if we haven't already mentioned it, and we'll go ahead and take a look. EVGA, okay. Um, Okay, we can add that. EVGO. We'll add that to our radar. Any others? All right, so we'll wrap it up for today, for today's pre-market pulse. Again, I'm broadcasting off my normal site for today, but next week I'll be back to regular. We'll have the camera and everything going. So, for everyone, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and also share with your friends if they trade stocks. For everyone who doesn't know much about our program, be sure to check out fundertrading.com, our website, to learn more about how we fund traders to trade equities, stocks. And for everyone else, I'll see you in the coaching room in about 10 minutes, and then we'll start from there. Okay? Have a great trading day, everybody. Take care.